Marcus has priced in this tapering of the bond, but it was a really balanced statement from between the doves and the hawks. So it was expected that PEP would be cut from its current 20 billion euros a month back to the levels of the first quarter. That hasn't actually happened. They've just put in a caveat saying moderately lower pace, i.e. they're going to reduce it at some point in the future. So let's not get too excited about it. It's a huge, this stimulus that the central banks are kicking around, still kicking around, is absolutely massive. So they're still reluctant to press ahead, move down that hawkish tilt, which the Fed kicked off and the Bank of Canada kicked off earlier in the year. The RBNZ, remember, we're going to increase rates in August. That didn't happen. So as far as the ECB is concerned, that's the rate hikes aren't going to happen in the foreseeable future. So the tapering will be the first tentative steps, and they've even sort of backed off that a wee bit. So they've balanced that typical ECB operation where they've balanced the hawks and the Feds on the hawks and the doves on the ECB. So what can I say? I can't really get too excited about it. Euros up a tad. Let's just get rid of me. So welcome everyone. Let's have a look. Let me see who's in. I've got my YouTube friends here. Vicky, hello. Good afternoon to you. Hope you're well. Frank, good afternoon. Kovic, yes, we're on. We're live. We're on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, I can't share your comments, but do join us on Facebook if that's your preferred method of speaking or contacting us. So let me just check if the Facebook's up and running. Let's have a quick look. This takes, I can't share this immediately, unfortunately. Let's have a look. So ECB on play. Yeah, it looks like I'm up and running. And there's a few people in there. So good afternoon to you guys. I say I can't share your comments, but we'll be back with you as soon as possible. So good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're well. Hope you're staying well and staying safe. I think everybody knows my view on the vaccines. If you get offered it, take it. It's disgusting that the low-income countries have such a low vaccination rate, and the high-income countries are talking about... let's just get rid of that. Let's get rid of me. There we go. Oops. Chart's not showing. Why isn't the chart showing? There we are. I'm back. Excuse me. And they're talking about a third vaccination in some of the high-income countries. We need to get this fixed globally, don't we, really? Azim, I'm very well myself, my friend. I hope you're well. Anything you want to talk about in particular, any particular asset you want me to have a look at, let me know. Are people happy with these black charts? By the way, I was viewing this as a participant the other day, and some of the detail on the black chart gets lost, doesn't it? So I might change the background. But anyway, it is what it is at the moment. So we got white positive candles, red negative candles. This is a crossing EMA strategy here. So we've bottomed out here into close yesterday and earlier, obviously ahead of the ECB, and basically the euro's picked up here against the dollar on this 1 hour chart, ticking higher this morning. It's moved to higher. Only line on my chart is up here at 118.56.60, going back to earlier in the week. So that's a key resistance or a resistance area I've got marked on there. You can see the resistance here on this. Why isn't that working? Just hide that. You can see the bit of a first resistance here at 118.50 zone, 118.47 to be perfectly accurate there on those charts there. Then we got this level here, and then we come through the cluster here from Tuesday and Tuesday's high when we went to 118.82, and obviously we spiked through 119 earlier in the week as well. So not sure that's going to be on the cards today. So Abraham, good afternoon to you. There's some key American data, US data coming out in 3 minutes, but we'll have a look at the charts before then. We've got the weekly claims, which is expected to continue to show this decline in employment. So let's see what's going on there. So euro, the main player today, it's been up and it's been down, ticking higher at the moment, but let's have a look. So Abraham and Vicky is asking about gold. I'll come to the CAD, Frank. Probably CAD will be in play, Frank. It has been in play for a while. Simply because it's weakened this week, and we've got the Canadian jobs data tomorrow. We've got some key American jobs data tomorrow as well. But at the moment, we'll come to that in a minute. So gold at the moment had a big sink down on Tuesday. I'm sure you all saw that. Huge sell-off on Tuesday. Again, not particularly anything that sparked it in particular. It's just this general stronger dollar as we'd rallied to this sort of 1832 resistance area. Let me just we do this all the time, but let me just let me reiterate what we're showing here. I'm showing you on this chart for a while. This level here, this I don't know if you can see here. That's a 50% Fibonacci, a 50% retracement level of this move down we had in May into June. So we went from all the way up here at 1922. We came down to 1750 zone. And halfway between that decline is this 1835 area where we've ran to this week and stalled at 1834. So we ran into it here in July. We ran into it here at the beginning of August, and we've done the same here at the middle of the beginning of September, I should say. So you could argue that's a triple high, and perhaps there's another leg down. So obviously the big shakeout we had in August took us all the way down here to 1685 below this leg here. So that's a key line in the sand below, obviously significantly below. Let's just put that in for now. There we go, 1690 below the key next level. And the key next level is this orange line here on the daily time frame, which sits at 1770, which is the 61.8 Fibonacci of this recent retrace here when we went down and then came back up. So 1770 is our next support level from the shakeout that started 3 days ago. We bounced a wee bit today. If we come down to the 4-hour time frame, we've bounced this morning off 1788. So here on the 4-hour time frame, 1788 provided some sort of support. It's bounced off that. It's still under its 20 period moving average, which sits just above 1800 at 1801 now on the 4-hour time frame. And for intraday traders, the 1-hour time frames, we've been looping down Tuesday, Wednesday. Tuesday, obviously, our big sell-off. Wednesday, we went down again yesterday. Found this support here at 1788 on the 1-hour time frame. And then it ticked higher this morning as we broke over the 20 period moving average. It's flattened out. The moving averages, the faster moving averages have turned higher, but we've ran into resistance, which sits at 1800. And 1800 is key. It's a psychological number, and it's also the 20-day or the 21-day EMA. If we've got the daily time frame again, you can see that purple line there. Hopefully you can see that. Let me zoom that up. You can see this purple line here is the 21-day EMA. So it's right on 1800. So 1800 is big old resistance area on the daily time frame to going up. So we're over. We've ran to that today, and now we've bounced back down. So support today on the 1-hour time frame. If we zoom out a wee bit, you can see we've rallied quite nicely this morning, gone long here as it's broke over there at 11 o'clock server time at 1792. We've ran to 1800, so it's a nice 800 pip or 800 point move there, $8. And our support sits at the 21 EMA at 1793, right on 1793. And our immediate support is these two moving averages, which are still holding us up. Okay, so we've ran to our immediate target area at 800, resisted that, move back down and see where we go from here. That's a gold, Vicky, intraday, my friend. So let me just see where everybody is. It's gone 131, so I'm going to just drop out of looking at the charts, and I'm just going to go back to my calendar and see what the economic data is for the United States. So I say it's weekly claims this week. This workstation is a bit slow, and it hasn't updated. My Reuters workstation's not here. It's back at the office. I haven't got access to it. Where am I? I've lost my thread. Right. So, big move down. That's a really positive number. Initial claims have come in at 310,000. So that's a very positive. That is another post-pandemic low. It's very positive, very close to the 300,000 level. Remember, it wasn't that long ago. We were still stuck getting under 400,000. Another positive, the 4-week average is now down under 340,000. That's another positive tick. Last week's number was actually revised up at 5,000 to 345 from 344. But that's a nice positive 310,000. That's a very positive number, and that's probably why gold's come back down on that data. So initial claims for Thursday, September the 3rd, is coming in at 310,000. The ongoing claims, where's the ongoing claims? I've lost the... Oh, I've got the wrong filters on, that's right. Let me just see the full results. The ongoing claims, which were 2.748 million last week. Remember, we'd had the JOLTS number yesterday showing 10 million jobs openings in the United States. So there's massive disparity between jobs opening, businesses that want to recruit people with the right skills, and still 8.9 million Americans claiming some sort of unemployment benefit. That's coming to an end. That extra benefit has come to an end now. So so the continuing claims, unfortunately, again, this has been the sticking one. The continuing claims are expected to come down to 2.744 million from 2.8 million last week. It is actually at 2.783 million. So that's actually gone up again, although it's a week earlier. It's the 27th of August. So that's a little bit disappointing again. So the long-term unemployment remains the big sticking point. The problem we've had all through the pandemic, and indeed before the pandemic. Yes, we had this near full employment pre-pandemic, but it's the long-term unemployed, the U6 rate, which labour economists look at, was still relatively high, and that's been the big issue. Continuing claims remain and miss expectation at 2.783 million. But the headline, 310,000, that's a really positive number. So that should be a dollar positive data dump from the United States today. So there we go. Frank, well, let's get the dollar CAD, because you asked for dollar CAD earlier. I say CAD, the Canadian, obviously we've had I'm losing my words here. We've had the central banks, key this week. We've had the RBA on Tuesday, not talking about tapering, but extending their support package from November to February. So actually not pumping more money in, but not cutting it either, but actually extending the time they're supporting the Aussie economy down to 4 billion Aussie dollars a week now, but being extended out to February from November because of the spike in cases, particularly in New South Wales and in the Sydney area of Australia. So that was their number. The Bank of Canada yesterday were much more neutral, but they've got the issue of obviously a snap election coming this month as well. They'd already moved ahead earlier in the year, as I said at the beginning, cutting some of their taper, some of their so they were being quite advanced along with some of the other commodity currency countries. But nothing of any particular significance yesterday. So we were waiting for the ECB, and again, the ECB, it depends what Miss Lagarde's got to say at the moment. Obviously, she should have started her press conference. It hasn't really. If we look at this is the euro. If we look at this is the actual announcement here. Sorry, the announcements. Heat one we're talking about. It's when was it? It was 45, wasn't it? There we go. We rallied to 1840. We've come back down since then, given up that 15-minute channel, but we're still relatively bid here. Euro against the dollar intraday, given that the dollar's turned around against the euro quite significantly here in the last 3 days. So we had a big 3-day move down into the 20-day moving average for the euro dollar down here at just above 1805 from a rally to 1900 earlier in the week. So bounce back for the euro against the dollar today a wee bit. See if Miss Lagarde moves that. It was expected that Miss Lagarde will wrap the taper talk in a dovish outlook. There hasn't actually been any taper talk, but they are talking about this moderately lower pace into the final quarter of the year. So, but still at 20 billion euros rate, this extra PPE. So see what comes of that. So the CAD, the Bank of Canada, not a great deal to say, but Macklem, the head of the Bank of Canada, has a major speech in a little while, Frank, so that might impact things. So if you look at dollar CAD, because we've got the Canadian jobs data tomorrow, this is dollar against the CAD, so the dollar has appreciated this week as it has against most currencies and certainly most major currencies. So we were down here testing 125 on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. No, that's last Friday, wasn't what I'm talking about. This was NFP day, wasn't it? We went down, dollar under pressure, under 125, and here we are over 127. We're at 126.96 at the moment, so a big 200 pip rally this week. Classic little consolidation zone here through Monday and Tuesday. We broke out of the range quite nicely. It's a trend follower's dream, really. There was the resistance here at 125.50. Broke it. You could have got in it there at any time, and that's just rallied up. You could have gone out there, got back in an hour later. This is 1 hour. Yeah, 1 hour later, rallied up. Still in. Got out here, got back in here, rallied up yesterday, and then got out. And now it's trying to go short this morning, and that is still short actually. Although it's bounced back up there, that would have triggered short on this strategy this morning. But as the dollar's rallied to 127, obviously a big round number, and it's stuck at 127. So 127 is key. Obviously 125 is a big psychological round number as well. So that's a 1 hour time frame. We've rallied as high as following the Bank of Canada yesterday. Markets always do this with the announcement. So that's our line in the sand there, 127.60. So that's as weak as the dollar, as the loonie got against the US dollar. But on an end of hour basis, and obviously end of day we closed much lower than that, we couldn't get over 127.25. See that 127.25 up here. So that's two key resistances to that upside. We've moved down. We're now under the 20-hour moving average, which sits. In fact, we're back over it now, aren't we, as I'm speaking? So that's our next key level. Let's pull that down there. That's the 21. Why won't it go down? Come down, you bugger. Let's zoom up a bit. So I wanted that. Come down. There we are. That's our 20 hour or 21. The actual pink line there is actually the 21 EMA, and that sits at 126.90. So there are three zones to the upside. To the downsides, obviously, are low from yesterday, which was around here at 126.25 today, and then our current that was another bit of an area yesterday through there here, which we've been in to test now as we've moved down and bounced off it. So 126.65. So there are your three zones. I hope you can see all those lines, Frank. But obviously the data again tomorrow, we've got PPE, the producer price index from the United States, affecting one side of this trade, and we got the key Canadian jobs data affecting the other side of the trade. But at the moment, as you can see, we've rallied up this week, and we're in this bit of a range here. You see a little range there, 126.65 to 127.25. So that's our range from late yesterday afternoon today so far. That's our range we're in, pivoting through the 20-hour moving average, Frank. I hope that's explained things for you. Shelley, good afternoon, or Sherry, I should say. Good afternoon. Hope you're well. Staying safe. Ibrahim, hope you're well, my friend. Good afternoon to you as well, my friend. Hope you're well. Kelvin, good afternoon. Aaron, good afternoon. Let me just go to my friends on Facebook because I can't share their pictures. Nuzzy, I'm good. Ran, somebody's asked about the Ran. Nuzzy's asking about. I'm going to make a note of this because I can't write it down. The DAX, yeah, well, it's interesting. We'll have a look at the DAX, see what's happening. So the JER 30, the USA 30, gold. We've had a look at gold already, but we'll come back to gold. Don't worry. The Rand's having a real old run, really, really good run. Some key levels there. Gold again, pound, yen, the guppy. Sterling's been very much in focus this week with that big tax hike in the United Kingdom. Emmanuel's asking for gold. So Muzzy, the JER 30, the USA 30, and gold. Let's have a look. So let me go back to my chart. So where am I on here? I'll just I'll leave Aaron on for now, saying hello. And there's a few more questions. The NAS 100. Good afternoon, Colombia. Good evening, Dr. Prasad. Hope you're well. NAS is also asked by EJ Tech Solutions, the NAS as well. So let's have a look at the American tech charts. What happened yesterday, ladies and gentlemen? It looked like a bit of a shakeout. For me, the key thing was that Facebook and Apple, remember, the world's biggest company, lost over 1% yesterday. It's quite a significant move, a 1% move. So the tech companies did roll over yesterday. Let's actually start with, let's do this in order rather than jumping around. The JER 30, let me just find out the indexes for the JER 30. We'll do it over on the indexes. On profiles. Where's my indexes? We'll go over on to the index files. Okay, so let's have a look. So first up was the DAX. So DAX has been, there we go. DAX has been grinding high, but when we say that about the stocks, there's a bit of an angle on the American ones. Here, the European ones have been making heavy weather of it. So the DAX has been grinding up. This is back, this is all year basically. This is January here. You see January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September here. So all year it's just been eking it out. But it's been going up, hasn't it? It's not like we've seen on the American stock, sorry. So this is the daily for the DAX. So going back to the beginning of the summer, again, it's just really perhaps you're running out of steam. Big gaps here of some surprise news. Rallied up again. Now we've sort of really bottomed out. So we have got earlier in August, we went over 16,000 for the first time. There's 16,000 here for the DAX up here. There we go. 16,000. And again, if we zoom this in, or we got the weekly or something, you can see all-time high. The weekly looks a bit nicer, doesn't it? All-time high over 16,000 for the very first time, broken over the 2020 highs. Look at all these lows all the way down here. So more than 100%, 150%, 20% gain on the DAX, because we went all the way down to 7,000. Here we are at 16,000. So if we zoom in again, so DAX rallied to 16,000 in August. It's dipped down and remains, we've also below another high that we had in July. So we were in that channel for lots of July and August. Sorry, we got a new channel here for the end of August. We were in it for the beginning of September, and then yesterday, key break yesterday, we broke out of that channel. We broke under 15,800. Big negative day yesterday, and we followed through again today, but we've bounced at the moment. So that looks like that's perhaps running out of steam. But as you can see, the DAX does this quite a lot anyway on an end of day basis. So don't get too uptight about it. Remember, with the smaller, not the smaller indexes, but the indexes that are composed of fewer companies, it can make a big move on some of those composites, because there's only 30 companies in the DAX. So we've had the big German auto show in Munich this week as well. So car manufacturers, the chip shortage very much top of the shop for many of the German car manufacturers, and lots of chatter about chip shortages running for a while. So we had this worry in the tech market, in the equity markets yesterday, which we saw sell off, and quite a significant sell off here yesterday in the DAX, and we opened quite low this morning, but we've come back to 15,500. So we're into this zone here now. So we've already, that's really the low of this channel, isn't it? So this is taking us to the low zone of June and July at 15,500, which we've already tested today. So this looks quite weak at the moment, but anything can happen with the equity market. They can bounce back up. I don't know what time frame you're trading that, Muzzy, but certainly that would have moved down quite nicely, trending on your 4-hour time frame. So big candle breaking out. See how it's exaggerated move. Then it gapped down this morning. Then it's moved back up. But certainly the 1 hour would have looked really good yesterday as well. So or earlier in the week, in fact, we'd been tracking higher. Your last move would have been at that move there on the 7th at 4 o'clock into close through yesterday. Big move down yesterday, and that would have closed. Then you would have gapped on open down this morning. See the gap between the close yesterday, the open this morning, under 15,500. Briefly, then we've come back, and you would have closed. That would have closed your short this morning on this trade. So you'd have been short from here using this strategy here. You'd have been short from here at 15,853, and you would have just closed it in the last hour there at 15,612. So what's that? That's 240 odd pips, 240 pips on that move down, just trending that down. Yeah, we went much lower, but rules are rules. Or if you were trailing your stop loss, you might have been stopped out closed out earlier than that, but I might even closed it out yesterday, where we got out just now. So anyway, DAX remains negative on the 1 hour, 4 hour. 4 hour, there it is, 4 hours, remains significantly negative, still could gap down that. MACD still negative. RSI's bounced off the, can you see that? RSI's bounced off the oversold area here at 30 twice. So it may be looking to move back up, but still looks pretty weak. It's still trending lower. MACD still trending lower. So that 4 hour one is still lower. And the daily, very choppy. Yesterday would have been your entry on the short, breaking out of this channel, breaking lower again. Big old candle. Expect a bit of a retrace of this, but that's a very significant move. And see if that is the bottom of it intraday today. But certainly DAX went short on the end of day yesterday. So that's the DAX. The USA 30, again, similar sort of pattern going up, but again, big sell-off. This is Monday. This is zoom this up. This is Monday, not Tuesday. Sorry, one more time. Tuesday, not yesterday. Here for the Dow. But again, similar sort of move. We're consolidating it. I'm zooming up again. Consolidating at highs. These dips have been bought, but you can see how it's flattening out. This obviously goes all the way back to the beginning of the year. But now this is April, so you can again see how these bottoms have been moved. But you can see how much more volatile the Dow is, because again, it's only 30 constituents, and the industrials, the cyclicals have benefited quite well from the churn from technology, because Nasdaq fell quite aggressively, but all these dips have been bought. So again, we've rolled over an end of day basis. You might have closed out your last long here, even possibly going to turn short. Who knows? But 34,800 is an X key line. It's on my chart here from way back before, and then 34,400. The next one on this chart, and then those next levels take us down to this sell-off, this panic sell-off at 34,000 itself. So some target levels to the downside, but are these dips going to get bought again? One could argue, again, it's all about perspective and time frame. This consolidation is flattening quite significantly now up at the top. So be careful. But it's had a very, very good run. Participants are churning out, perhaps, and into other stocks, but doing done very, very well as this has rallied up. So that's the Dow. Let's just do that on a shorter time frame. So it'll be a similar sort of time frame if we come down to the intraday time frame. So the 4 hour again was consolidating. See that you can see a bit more of the exaggerated consolidation in the Dow here. So a bit of a channel there. First indications again. What looked like that was, here you can see top to bottom, top to bottom, top. Didn't go down. That looked like that was going up. Bit of a rising wedge there. Rejected it. So we got a triangle. We've broken out. And then the big sell here on the 4. This is the 4 hour time frame was here from 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock on the 7th of September. And down we go. And we followed through quite aggressively. We broke under 35,200, that bottom of our channel down the 4 hour. 1 hour traders would have been shorter earlier on the Dow. Indeed, earlier in the week. This is back to 7th. That's that top on our 4 hour. That's been trending down. Big hour candle down there. So there's 1,400 below that level. Down, lows are getting lower, highs are getting lower. I bump down, and it's just looks like it's turning around now. At the moment, the signal line's starting to turn up. The MACD histograms are shortening. Positive hour in the last hour, based on the US data, our guess, and the brushing off the ECB, and that's been from testing 34,800 yesterday or this morning. In fact, that was just this morning. It's turned around quite nice, and it's moving up, but it didn't hold then. It didn't hold then. And let's move down. So is this the move up? We shall see as we go into the cash open for the USA. What's that? The USA 30 intraday. Yeah, DAX. Gold we did before. We'll come to Rand in a minute, my friend. And there was another Nasdaq. A few people asking about Nasdaq. EJ on here, and who else was asking about Nasdaq? We did CAD. Good afternoon, Ozim. Oh, Aussie Banker, what's this? Your account hasn't been verified for a month and it's still paying me. Okaloa, I don't know what the story is. I don't know everybody's individual story, but there must be something wrong with some of the documents you've given us. Okalona, Loa, please contact support@hotforex.com. Come onto the website. Guys will help you. We're here to help you, my friend. EJ will do Nasdaq. Ibrahim, I haven't forgotten about Euro Oz. We'll come to Euro Oz in a minute as well. Hope you're all still here. So, Nasdaq. A few of you have asked on Nasdaq on Facebook as well. Who's asking about Nasdaq? It wasn't. It was just over on. YouTube. So, just to finish off the story about the tech stocks, Nasdaq yesterday. Where's Nasdaq? USA 100 here. Nasdaq yesterday was the worst of the performers. Yes, I wrote it down this morning. I was speaking to the guys. We had a big sell-off on Coinbase, PayPal. I say Facebook and Apple, both over 1%. Nasdaq was down yesterday 0.57 of 1%. So the worst performer. It'd been the best performer early in the week. But this is these all-time highs again up here at over 15,600. Let's put these in. So sort of rolling over there, 15,600. In fact, 15,700 there. This is the end of day basis for the Nasdaq. But so again, you can see stronger because we've got 100 components, the tech companies, and again, you can see very aggressively bought. The dips have been bought every time we've touched the rally in the summer to the 21 EMA. It's brought in buyers. Is it going to happen again? Who knows? But at the moment, the trend is running up. Have we run out of steam? Have we got all the good news? The quarter 2 earnings were fantastic. Quarter 3 won't be as good and never are as good. But it's, September can be a very volatile month for equity markets, particularly the final 2 weeks, weeks 3 and 4. So watch that. But also, in September, you get the world's biggest company announcing its new product range, Apple Day this month. I think it's the 17th. I'll have to double check that. But the new products get announced from Apple on the 17th. That always gives the markets a bit of a opportunity for buying and selling of that particular stock. But remember, it's the world's biggest company, so it's significant. If the Apple's moving, it'll drag the others up, like we saw with the move down yesterday. So technically, who's asking about this? EJ. The 20-day moving average sits at 15,400, give or take 10 pips for the Nasdaq. And every time it's punched under that during the summer, it's gone. Doesn't mean it's going to do it every time. He went down for quite a while there, didn't it, in May. But it's been bought down here. So buying opportunities every time we've gone down here. At the moment, it's grinding higher, but things don't go up forever. But there's lots of, some banks this week lowering final year and final quarter GDP expectations on the spike they've had in the virus in the US. The Kentucky governor was talking about a dire situation in his state, or a dire state. Kentucky was one of those states very much against the masks and against the mandates and low vaccination rates. But the virus has no appreciation or respect for creed or color or how rich you are. It's a viral infection that affects human beings, and that's what's happening. So Nasdaq support at 15,400. Intraday, it will have rolled over like the others. The 4-hour ticked lower yesterday. Here, big candle there. It's bounced. Actually, it's moved back against you there. As it's flattened out, but they're very much, you can see there that 4-hour channel at the top there. So running through that channel very nicely depicted there. That was from the 27th of August now. So very much channel bound, looking for break of that. So new all-time high at 15,700. Support sits around about 15,500, 15,000. Is that right? Yeah, a bit lower than that, perhaps. There we go. Bit lower than that, 15,580. So a significant break of that channel will then dictate where we go from here. for 4-hour traders, and as far as 1-hour traders, more choppy. So we've been up, then we were down, then we were up again, then we've been down yesterday, again down again today, and that's just turned long in the last hour on the data, I guess, on Nasdaq data. So that one's on the up. Okay, so where did I get to? Ibrahim, I said hello. Just spoke to Coca-Cola. Hello, Colombia. Good morning, Colombia. Hope you're well. Edison, staying safe. Hope you've had the vaccination or you'll be getting off it soon. Darpsan, good afternoon, my friend. Hope you're well. Wandil, we just looked at the Nasdaq. I knew there was somebody else that asked about it, so I hope that's answered your question. It's not a problem, EJ. That's what I'm here for. Santosh, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. What's your view on euro dollar from the ECB meeting? Santosh, well, basically, it's a bit of a non-event, wasn't it? It's very much priced in. The statement itself talked about the moderately lower pace. The market had expected a bit more of a hawkish spin. Miss Lagarde, all due respect to her, is probably still talking to the press at the moment. The appeared plan from let's just bring the euro back up. The appeared plan was to turn a bit cautious, talk this taper talk in. That didn't really happen. Euro here. Where's the euro here? Euro here on the 1-hour time frame. If we zoom up, we see the dollar improving this week. So euro tested 119 earlier in the week, and then we on Friday post NFP, and then we've been tracking lower ever since. Strong bid on the dollar. It was driven by yields earlier in the week. Yields and the dollar sort of parted ways a bit yesterday, so it's definite beginning of the month flows as well. Remember, lots of dollar in demand, but this morning overnight we saw a lot of demand for yen, Swiss franc, and the dollar. That's a safe haven sort of bid. That's cooled off a wee bit in the European session as we go into the US. So we rallied to 118.42. Miss Lagarde has obviously said something that the market didn't like as far as the dollar's concerned, and the euro dollar's come back down. But this could be all. This is obviously, well, I would say this is perhaps more to do with that strong weekly claims, 310,000. So dollars come back to push this back to this range. But you can see yesterday's range and this morning's range flattened out just above 118 here. 118.10 was our zone low yesterday. We've been a bit lower than that in this current big news hour. But that's as exciting as it got, and it didn't want to break under 118. So 118 is the big, and even above that 118.10. So to be honest, Santosh, it's a bit of I can't get too excited about it. I mean, there was lots of rude comments about poor old Miss Lagarde and what's her suntan look like today. But she's a very shrewd politician and presenter of facts. You know, she's not the she perhaps hasn't got the I don't know how to say this. She perhaps hasn't got the appeal, the natural charm of the Mr. Draghi. But Mr. Draghi was more of a statistician and an economist than Ms. Lagarde ever will be. But she's very good at presenting, very good at explaining things, very good at getting people on board and doing this balancing act, which she's done again, balancing the hawks and the doves on the ECB and calming things. So euro 118 support, 118.19 was a bit too high, so we got a bit of a dollar bid, and really, that's it, Santos. That's about as excited I can get. I hope that's not too disappointing, but it wasn't that big a deal for me, to be honest. No problem. Matthew, what's that? Wash hands. Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. Keep on doing it. Absolutely right. So there was a few others. So let's go. Rand, that was the other one. I knew somebody had asked about something significant. That was about something else. Rand was Rand's had a really good run, obviously weakened a wee bit this week. Let's have a look at the Rand. I can't remember who, somebody on Facebook was asking about the Rand. Where are we? What time? We're 4 o'clock, so still another hour before the oil inventories come out. What am I looking for? I'm looking for, where's the Rand gone? EM currencies, there we are. Oh dear. Who was it was asking about the rand? It was my friend Muzzy, my friend. Yeah, we'll have a look at gold as well for you because you've asked, and Mesh has asked about gold recently as well, and then pound yen for Emmanuel as well. So I hope you're all still here. So sterling's been a bit of a story itself. So let me go back. Let me get rid of Matthew because we know we need Santosh. That's not a problem. And you're appreciated for your time for being here, my friend. Take care. Let's just get rid of that. These Santosh's think you're. Andrea. Right. Okunloa, I've just got a message here from Andrea, who's obviously done some digging around for you. You need to inform you that you need to check your emails for the account to be verified, Okunloa. I don't know if you're still here. Hang on, let me find your. Where were you? Are you still here, my friend? You weren't. Let me find you. Okalunda, you need to check your emails. I've just been told by support or from Andrea via support that you need to check your emails. Okay, so check your emails so you can verify your account. Okay, we'd obviously love to have you. If you want to join us still, check your emails, my friend. Okay. So that's sorted that question out. Let's put Santosh. Right, what was it doing? We were looking at the rand, weren't we? Where's the rand gone? Oh, I've got two on the rand here. Let me show you two different. Right, this is a different chart for the sheer hell of it. This is the weekly chart for the dollar rand. Obviously, going back a number of years. This is all of 2020. This is back in 2018 and 2017 back here. So this is sideways in 2019. The pandemic struck. We rallied to 19. Whatever it was 1930, wasn't it? 1932 in March, and then it's turned around here quite significantly. So dollar benefited, dollar weakened. We went sideways in the first half of 2021, and then since then we've had a bid on the rand into the end of May, and then we've turned around and we've had a bid on the dollar into the end of August, and then the last 2 weeks we had a very significant reversal. Can you still see that? Sorry, my head's in the way, isn't it? We've had a very significant reversal. I can't move that up, can I? In the last 2 weeks, so we've had this big move up and big move down. So lots of action on the dollar rand. If I take move that down, if we use this one, where's the dollar? Where's the rand gone here? So again, this is the daily time frame now, not the weekly time frame. So a bit more detail. This is only going back, it's still back to 2020. Can we zoom up? So this takes us back to May, June. So the low here at 1338, tracked higher. We went to 1538. See all my line down here. I've been looking at this for quite a while, as you can probably tell. Significant break below the 20. Let's do it the right way around. Significant break above the 20 period was here on the 6th of August. We rallied to the middle of August here, turned around. The candle went from white to red, closed out our position there, then went short here on the 27th of August into the end of the month. And that's been a nice 2 weeks that we just saw on that other chart, on the weekly chart, for the weakening dollar against the accruing South African rand. So what we've done now is this low here from August, we have breached below it yesterday and today. So that's becoming of interest. This Fibonacci leg here, the extension down of this, obviously it's gone up and then it's gone down, it's got rid of it, would take us all the way back to here at 1351.20, which takes us back just above our low here, right at the beginning of the summer or the beginning of the winter in South Africa here at 1338. So obviously the economic situation hasn't improved at all in South Africa. Huge unemployment rate, particularly for the young. Of the 81 countries that Bloomberg clock follow, South Africa has the worst youth unemployment of all those 81 countries. Very, very unfortunate situation there. So the rand has played into that. So it's accrued, it's weakened and at the moment, dollar is weakening, but how long that goes on for, we shall see. But it's broken the low we had in early August, which is a point of interest for me. So, who's asking about that? It was Muzzy. So, Muzzy, I hate these sort of up and down charts, but you just they are what they are. You just trade them accordingly. But the interesting thing I say, over the last few days, we stalled at this extended low here at 14.21, but we've breached that and it's gone lower again now. So that trend is very much set, and there's no reason why you would close that short that you should have taken here on the 27th of August. That's still running and showing no signs of turning around. So the EM currency, let me just bring in the others in as well, have sort of benefited quite. Window, let's tile that window. Get rid of that one. That's that other US one. But these are the other. That's the dollar index. So let me just window. So the other emerging market currencies. This is the Turkish lira that's been hammered, but it's coming back gradually. So the dollar's weakened here through June, July, and it's dollar's come back a bit here against it in the first part of September. So July and August it's come back, but it's still on a it had a huge weakening, the lira. It's come back a wee bit. We're still at 8.45, so it's still relatively weak. Excuse me. Mexican peso doing a similar sort of position, gone sideways for July and August, peaked at 20.45 here, but finding support through where we are now, through just under 20 at 19.98. Okay, I know I'm not many US about the peso, but I'm just bringing in these other EM currencies as well. Okay, Dr. Basan, let's go back to gold. Some of you have asked about gold. Can you look into gold and gold euro on the 1 hour with correlation? Certainly. I don't look at the euro, gold euro, but I'll have a look at it. Obviously, we've got a stronger dollar recently, and that's the main price of gold. I'm not sure why you would trade gold euro, but obviously that's what's available. It's possible. So let me just. I'm looking for euro. Actually, I won't do it here. I'll do it when we go back to the file. Other profiles. I've got commodities. I'll bring it in here actually. So I haven't got it on here, have I? So this is the commodities chart. Let's just. So you've asked for gold on the 1 hour. Other people have asking for gold on the 1 hour. Amazing analysis. Uriah, you're too kind, my friend. You're too kind. But keep it coming. Keep it coming. So Uriah, there's a few others of you asking about gold. Muzzy was asking about gold as well. No, Lamesh was asking about gold. Emmanuel, I haven't forgotten about you. Pound yen. Pound yen is the only one I haven't looked at now. So let's just do gold. Everybody seems obsessed with gold. So let's just go through this default chart. So gold, as we've been saying this morning, this is the daily chart on the higher time frame. So as I said this morning, or as I said earlier, I should say, 1700 obviously a key level all the way down. 1750, 1765 is also in on this particular chart. That's another leg there. We talked about 1735 being this there we are, that 50% Fibonacci level of this retracement here. We talked about that earlier. So that's through there. And we got this triple sort of high, triple top, you could argue, through July and August. It's not really a triple top, but anyway, it's the summer as well. So there we go, 1730, 1735, triple top. As far as your 1 hour setup is concerned, that's tricking lower. It went longer here for me weekly here at 10 o'clock this morning because the moving averages are flat. They'd crossed earlier, we were over the 20. Then it's run out of steam and now it's gone flat. So it's not doing anything, to be honest. It's still in that channel. And where is it? Well, it's still, actually, it's probably better. Well, go back to the other chart, it doesn't matter. Let me just put the 1800 level on. That's 17. We haven't even got, there we're 1800 just over there. So that's 1800. We can't get over it yesterday. We can't get over it today at the moment. So that's a big psychological support. So if you want to look at the, compare that to the euro against the against gold, which is what you asked for, and I'm here to serve. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for euro, gold. What am I doing? Yeah, gold. So let's just put the same template on so we can compare like for like. Do this EMA cross. So this is the same, not the same chart, but this is euro against the gold doing a similar sort of thing. Obviously, the price is different. So we're topping out here this time at 15.20 yesterday. There you go, see 15.20. And our low today on the 1 hour time frame is 15.13. I've never looked at this, to be honest. Well, I have a long time ago, but as far as the MACD is concerned, again, the signal line is relatively flat. It's ticking up. Looks like it wants to break up. It broke up just like we saw with the dollar chart earlier this morning on the 11 o'clock time frame. This was, as it's been moving down through Tuesday and Wednesday into this 15.13 level. It's then gone up, but it's run out of steam, hasn't it? It's moved up. ECB announcement sort of spiked to our high from yesterday, 15.20. Then we've given it up. And we've gone down, so it's still bid, it's still up, but I would, if I'd been long, I mean, the rules would have, it's flat, it's not a great entry, that one, so it's a very weak entry here, although it's followed the rules, so we're going up okay, and then it took you out, so you've been out for flat, and I'd still be flat. I might be tempted to get back in on the close of this candle here, but I'd really like to see this poking through yesterday's high. This is going to go up, otherwise we're going to end up still in this channel, this $12 channel between 15.20 and $8 channel, $7 channel, and between 15.20. Let's get it right. 15.21 and 15.30. Let's be accurate, Stuart. So $8 is your range. That's a lot of pips, a lot of points. So be careful as ever. So a break of 15.21. A break of 15.30 for some sort of direction for the rest of the day and into Friday, into the end of the week. Remember, I think I said this yesterday when people were asking about why did we sell off so aggressively on Tuesday? I don't know why. It just did. There would have been a trigger, but as you can see, Tuesday was a huge candle, and again on the higher time frames, Dr. Sand and others, that was a big candle, and it's negative. See how it started below the high and it's closed much below the high. This is the euro. Testing that low of that channel that we've seen intraday since then. So that becomes a key level. As you can see, the shakeout in August took us down here to 14.73, and then the intraday one took us all the way down at 14.37 for gold. So it can be volatile. Tuesdays, I don't know why, Tuesdays and Fridays. I don't know if these were Tuesdays. Well, certainly obviously weren't both Tuesdays and Fridays. Or indeed either of them might have been any of them at all. But certainly... it's not one I trade. Obviously, remember when you're trading something like the euro, pound, gold, be well aware of the spread, the leverage, the liquidities. Not many people trading this sort of asset, so be extra careful when you're trading that. Okay, so that's. Let me just get rid of that because it's going to confuse me because I don't normally trade that, but I'll leave that here with the equity the other commodity markets, and that's our. Let's just go back to the dollar one. There's that similar sort of channel you saw on the euro one, and that's our that 1788 we saw on the other chart earlier. That's that big floor we had yesterday and today, and the big round psychological $1,800 on the dollar chart. Sorry, my mind is getting some messages were coming in here. I shouldn't have been looking. Emmanuel, my friend, are you still here? I understand if you're not, but we'll have a look at pound yen. Uriah, thank you, my friend. I love these lovely comments. Makes my day. Dr. Pasan, thank you as well, my friend. Stay safe. What are we doing? Pound against the yen. Sterling very much in focus this week. Boris Johnson, Prime Minister Johnson. I still can't believe I'm saying that. But anyway, Prime Minister Johnson came up with this extra payment for workers, 1.5% extra tax. Huge tax for workers, people earnings. There's been a bit of there's a tax on shares as well to pay for help the NHS get out of the crunch and the spending crunch it's had because of the pandemic. But anyway, lots of politics swirling around that. And British pound, there we go. So let's have a look at the guppy. Yen has really sort of been very mixed. It's well, anyway, the big picture. Big picture is we moved down nicely, aggressive. Again, another trend. Traders, a nice run here in August. We went short here at 152.30. I think it was 152.40 somewhere. That end of day one there, I think, if I remember rightly. Yeah, it broke. Yeah, 152.40. That's it. And then we ran down quite aggressively and closing out middle of August here. So it was a nice little trend here. We've since triggered long here right at the beginning of the month, and it's following through from the mid I can't get my words out. Sorry, excuse me. The mid-month low, which corresponded to the July mid-month low. So fairly typical summer sort of movements here through there. Here at just under 149.50. Which also corresponded to, it's a round number, 149.50, corresponded to these lows in April as well. So bump, bump, bump. Now we've moved off that again, just like we did in August, but we haven't moved up quite as aggressively as we did in August so far in September. So we're consolidating at the moment. We need to break over 152 on an end of day basis to take this higher, but we are above the 20-day moving average. It's a bit of a strong move in the first day, and it's petered out. Remember, they can move an awful lot of pips, the pound yen. So 152 needs to break to take us higher, and then there's a cluster of consolidation from early August here, which takes us to 153 area, this zone here. So 152 is where we've been testing for the last few days. Let's zoom this up. We're at 152 right now, 152.01. So we read it and see here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. That's rejected. That's rejecting. The wick is rejecting. Something's got to give at some point. We're either going to break out of this and run to 153, or we're going to reject this and break under the 20-day moving average and move back down here and perhaps test, 151, certainly 150 itself. So at the moment, it's a 4-day sliding sideways and nothing going on. So it's wait and see if you're an end-of-day trader. If you're intraday trader, it's been a bit more choppy. Obviously, the 4-hour trader was long, looked like it was going to go short. We didn't break over what this support here, this 151.6. We go back to the time frame. Where was that 151.6? I don't know why that's in there. Oh, it's that end of day there. So that's why that's relevant at the beginning of August, and now it's the beginning of September. So let me just zoom that. So 4-hour, that level was tested, 151.65, and went under it a bit. So drifted lower here since since this week, and then it's ticked up. So that was the uncertainty around sterling, but then sterling's recovered today in particular. Yen was also bid yesterday and overnight, but pound guppy has ticked up. But again, we need to break 152. The 4-hour traders need to see it at 152.15 and 152.20 really to take it to the next 20 pips to 152.40. Where does that one come from? 152.40. What's that from? That's from that. Oh, that was our short from wasn't it? That's the one I've just put in. So that might be a line in the sand as well. So 4 hours need to break 152.20, then to 152.40. And as far as the 1-hour trader, we've probably gone long. Yeah, there we go. We were short. That's gone long this morning at 11 o'clock, and you're still long. And again, you can see that 152 area coming into play. But we've been moving lower, haven't we? The highs have been getting lower. The lows have been getting lower all the way, until we peaked. This morning, turned around and looks like we're moving up. Tried to move up then. Ran out of steam, tried to move up then, moved out of steam, but this time we're sort of here. So we do need to, a bit higher than we were yesterday, but we do need to break over 152 if we're going to move to the upside. So a battle between the bulls and the bears for the pound yen intraday trader. So 152, big line in the sand, and then 152.20 and then 152.40 for guppy traders. And is that the last request? Let's have a look. Anyone else is still here? I can't see who's. There should be somewhere on here to tell me who's still watching or listening or is attentive at all. But I can't. I'm sure there is. There's probably some technology. Let me just refresh the Facebook page. It says there's 8 people commented. Yeah, there's probably is only 8 comments on there on Facebook, wasn't there? But how many are on there? No, what to do? 9, lots of spam. Okay, there's nobody else on Facebook. It's 4:30. I'll just come around to 4:30. We come around to the US Open. So just a quick recap, we've had a big beat for weekly claims, 310,000, the best in the whole 18 months of the pandemic. Getting down to normal levels, 250,000, 260,000 is the normal weekly initial jobs claim sort of number pre-pandemic and a normal economic cycle. So we're getting there. It's moving down quite nicely. Bit of a caveat was that last week's was moved up 5,000 to 340,000, revised up. But even if this week's is revised higher, it won't be, or it shouldn't be that significant. We'll see. The 4 weekly average is now under 340,000. That's another positive tick. Although, again, last week's 4 weekly average was revised a wee bit higher, 1,000 higher to 356,000 from 355,000. The negative caveat, again, and I've said this many weeks as we've been doing these broadcasts, is the continuing claims for the week of 27th of August actually went up from, it was expected to be 2.74 million. It was 2.748 million last week. It was upgraded to 2.8 million, and this week's number missed expectations, came at 2.783 million. So those long-term unemployed remain very, very sticky. And the jobs openings we had yesterday, the JOLTS jobs opening yesterday, is 10 million plus, is a record high for July. That's got to be counterbalanced by these long-term unemployed people still claiming, and the glut of 8.7 million Americans without a job. So there's this big mismatch between the businesses and the skills and the businesses job vacancies that businesses want to fill, and the skills of the unemployed. But obviously the support packages are coming to an end as well now in the United States. So that might spur more people to get up and look for a job. But lots of people obviously saying they're unemployed when they're not really unemployed. They're not really interested in finding jobs as well. It's some of the chatter that's going around as well. But there's an awful lot of Americans that do want to get back into the jobs market and do want to find a sustainable wage on a weekly basis. So that was the big news. Obviously, the bigger news really was the ECB announcement, but that hasn't really. Let's go back to the euro. Hasn't really moved markets at all. It's all really been very much expected. The 20 billion a month euro stimulus package is still happening. Euro still now rotating back through 118.28. It was around about 118.25 when the statement came out. We went to 118.40, 15 pip rally, yoo-hoo. But 118 remains the line in the sand. So we may see some more pressure on that pair later on. So there we go. Let's leave you with the overall sentiment of the euro this week. Having rejected 119 from a rally up last week ahead of NFP, we've moved down ahead of the ECB into 118, but found support just above that 118.10 today. So that's all for now. I've been here an hour and 40 minutes. My voice is going. I'm getting very tired and a bit hot sat here. So take care, everyone. Stay safe, and we'll see you all again next time. And until then, trade carefully, and may the trend be with you.